I've been meaning to make this video forever, and I think it's really important because I want you to live a good life, and it's how to improve your life. Well, number one is to join the Orthodox Church, become a Christian, repent, be baptized, and focus on growing closer to Christ. And I learned a lot of these life hacks through becoming a Christian because I wasn't raised Christian. I think this is a good meme too, like working out, going outside, getting sunlight is going to make you feel good, having a good social life, having a good job, go to college or trade school, be responsible. Financial stress literally lowers your IQ. Go to bed at a good time. Don't stay up late playing video games. Eat healthy. Avoid soy and processed food. Drink water and drink filtered water. A lot of the tap water has a lot of bad things in it. So if you can, try and drink filtered fridge water, or if you can, buy bottled water. I really believe it makes a difference in acne and headaches and things like that. But most people in life are going to settle with being mediocre and do not reach anywhere close to their full potential. I think I was going down this path of mediocrity in high school, but when I started college, I wanted to do something, anything to change this. I wasn't happy with where I was at and where I was going. I knew I was capable of so much more than where I was at. I knew I hated where I was at and that I couldn't just stay in my comfort zone anymore. I needed to challenge myself, which requires the possibility of pain, embarrassment, uncertainty, and other things that the brain uses to try and keep you stuck in your comfort zone, to keep you stuck where you're at. Now that I have undergone this journey, and this is a lifelong process, and I'm sure I'm going to have many more tips as I grow older, I thought it'd be beneficial to share these habits, mindset shifts that can help you become the best version of yourself. Of course, I think this all stems from putting God first. We are all given this life from God, and we have the possibility to use our life to glorify God or to be a slave to sin. It's our choice. In this process, we heal our mind, body, and soul. People misunderstand the rules that God gives us. God does not give us rules arbitrarily to control us. The rules that God gives us are to help us self-actualize. But more important than just self-improvement, we can have communion with God, theosis, and salvation. What I like to do is think of the person you love to be around and think why you like being around them. Be more like them. Be positive. See the bright side in things and work on this every day to become more like the positive influences in your life. Everyone wants a quick fix to all their problems, but the reality is that the only way we can change is to commit to a permanent lifestyle change. Permanent lifestyle changes are difficult and take time. They delay gratification and don't bring us the instant gratification that all the bad things bring us. Doing a temporary diet to lose weight is rarely effective because after a few months, people revert to their old ways. Everything else is the same exact way. Adopt a permanent lifestyle change. That's why, for example, permanently eating healthier and working out is going to be the best way forward if you want to lose weight, not just a temporary diet. Every habit is like this. We need to change our old ways and live as if our old self is dead. This goes with everything. I have been depressed, suffered with anxiety, and everyone just wants to offer a bandage instead of a permanent solution, which is a lifestyle change. I think the habits and mindset that I talk about throughout this presentation is going to be a solution to how to live a good, happy, fulfilling life. But this requires work and time. It's going through the journey, and going through this journey helps us better understand and appreciate the whole process. Sins of the flesh send many people to hell, and this is why in Christian life it's so important to build willpower and to resist and moderate our desires, especially through tools like fasting. Everything in the modern world is geared towards empowering our sin by giving instant gratification. Giving into instant gratification by living a hedonistic lifestyle only leaves us feeling emptier and a slave to the world. Pleasurable moments are nice, but what we all really desire is a fulfilling life which requires doing uncomfortable things, delaying gratification, and serving a higher purpose. Eudaimonic happiness is achieved through good experiences, life as a whole, living a meaningful and purposeful life. But above our happiness is live a life worth living, which is a life that is dedicated to Christ and serving the church, and hopefully becoming a saint. I believe that happiness is a choice. We can always find a reason to be sad and mad at the world, or we can find a reason to be happy and optimistic about the future. The martyrs all died with a smile on their face because they had their happiness in Christ. and we should thrive to be like them. In my high school and college psychology classes, we learned about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and I think this is really important to understand maybe why you're not happy. Achieve all this if you're focusing ultimately on God. Because the richest man is not who has the most, but needs the least. And the richest man is one who has communion with God. So my number one advice is to get good friends and remove or have a boundary with the toxic people in your life. And why I say this is because look at your 5 best friends, or the people you spend the most time with. That is you. If they're all smoking weed, spreading negativity, staying up late playing video games, what do you think you're going to be doing? We mirror the people around us. If your friends are not ambitious, have different values and no goals, then who is going to motivate you to be better? Will end up dragging you down intentionally or unintentionally to be more like them, for better or worse. And this is why we can look at someone like Jesus. He had the 12 apostles, his friends, and he made all of the people around him a better person. And that holiness, that grace still spreads to us to this day. If your 5 best friends are ambitious, put God first, are motivated in their careers, spread positivity, are trying new things, have a good mindset, stay active with hikes, read lots of books, on bettering themselves and challenging themselves, then you're likely going to do that. You can help each other grow. This is why your friends matter so much, and why it is one of the biggest factors in who you will end up becoming. Your network, your boys, your girls, everything flows from this. So surround yourself with people that you want to be more like, because your friends' good habits and bad habits will rub off on you. So please be aware of that. It can change the outcome of your life and open up so many doors if you surround yourself with like-minded, ambitious people. It can help you get a job, meet your girlfriend, learn a new hobby. You want friends that are challenging you. And if you have a friend who's in a bad place, stay and help them. But don't make people your personal project, because ultimately they're making decisions at the end of the day. And so just have a healthy boundary with that. We want to help people realize that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can be the best influence on your friends, but they can still make terrible decisions. So just be careful. And this is exactly why toxic friends can be so devastating, because everything from them rubs off on you, including depression and personality traits. Their habits, their moods are literally contagious on you. It's the same with family, co-workers, anyone that's around you. You become more like the people you're around. We want to help people, and I've made huge mistakes trying to make people my personal project, thinking I can fix them. I can fix them. You cannot fix people. People are only going to change if they want to change. You don't need to cut these people off, but just have a boundary. And sometimes cutting them off will be necessary. You will naturally grow apart when you realize it is not your obligation to fix someone. That is a huge burden. It's an impossible burden, because only they can change themselves. And nothing will change until they want to change. You can't make someone change. We end up with a lot of our friends via circumstances, especially when we were young, and it can be tough to come to terms with this. As you mature, it is fine and normal to grow apart from people. When I started to focus on myself and make positive lifestyle changes like quitting video games, minimalism, and Christianity, my old friends made fun of me and were very negative. They will try to do everything to weigh you down because they want you to stay where you're at, so you stay with them. They are stuck in their comfort zone, and they don't want you to grow. So naturally, you get sucked in also. This is when I realized it would be better to be alone sometimes. It is better to be alone than to have toxic friends that will diminish and undermine your good habit. Learn to put God first, to focus on God, learning the faith. I got ahead in my college classes. I tried different jobs. I saved all my money. I volunteered at local food banks. I started learning to video edit and started making YouTube videos because I had a goal. I had desires for myself. I kept myself busy, kept improving myself, put God and my values first. It was lonely, especially since this was happening during the worldwide pandemic. And this is when I grew the most, when I was alone and I actually got to discover my own values. Doing this, I eventually met all my current best friends. It just focusing on God and focusing on myself, who share the same mindset and goals as me. I had no idea how this would play out years, but patience is key. If you put God first and your values first, you can make your own path where you will naturally run into others who share the same goals, ambitions, growth mindset. Next most important thing is to get out of your comfort zone. Learn to be okay with failure and rejection, because this is the only way to grow. Change the way you think about failure, because you only truly fail when you give up. Because every time you fail or get rejected, this is a learning experience. Fear the unknown, the new, the uncertain, and the only way to overcome that fear is to embrace it. If you're scared to give a presentation in class, if you're scared to talk to a girl, if you're scared to try something new, the only way you're going to get over it is to do it. And once you do it enough, your brain will be like, I can't do it anymore. I can't keep saying this is really scary, because you've done it so many times. If you are scared of giving presentations, do it 1,000 times. You won't be as scared. We should fear nothing but God. Most things that scare us in modern society are completely harmless. They're not going to kill us. You should actively seek to do challenging and embarrassing things, because this is how you expand your comfort zone. And if you're not expanding your comfort zone, then it's shrinking every week, every day. So you should do something that you think is scary. Every day you stay home, avoid risks, you are boxing yourself in, and your comfort zone is shrinking. It could be a casual conversation with a stranger in an elevator. It could be raising your hand in class. It could be asking a girl out. It could be making a class presentation, trying stand-up comedy, singing, dancing, anything. The thing you realize is that no one really cares if you do something super embarrassing. So just keep doing it, and then you won't care, and you won't have anxiety about it. You will realize it's not as bad as your head makes it out to be. It is all in your head. No one cares. No one is going to remember, even if you did the most embarrassing thing, even if you pooped your pants. It's not going to matter in like a few hours. It's not going to matter in a year. So just everything in perspective. The only thing that really matters is our salvation. So who cares about a little bit of embarrassment? So go challenge yourself. Try new events. Talk to new people. Challenge your friends. Anxiety is always worse in your head and imagination. This is why it's so important to not fantasize about things and to instead be present in the moment. If you have no expectations, then you have no anxiety. Occupy yourself in your mind. If you are constantly expanding your comfort zone, then your brain's just going to give up on trying to scare you because you're fearless. Anxiety in your brain is just like a schizo trying to make everyone live in fear. Do not listen to them. Put yourself out there, take risk. It only gets harder with age, so it's best to do it now. When you're young, you have the most time and you have the most... Your mistakes don't matter when you're young. No one's going to remember what you did in middle school, high school, college. So take risks and have calculated risks. It's really important to be comfortable with failure and rejection. If you want to date a girl, you find the perfect girl, but you have no experience, you're going to be so scared and anxiety can overwhelm you. But if you constantly just are putting yourself out there and you expect rejection and you're comfortable with rejection, then you're never really scared and you're falling in love with the process and seeing failure as a learning opportunity. It's important to be assertive and not passive. No one is going to save you except Christ. So you need to be your own advocate because no one else is going to in life. People are going to use you. People are going to do what's best for them. Do not be the quote-unquote nice guy. Do not be a pushover. Do not be afraid to offend people, because if you do this, you will inevitably be walked over and compromise on your values. Be brutal. Be honest. Assert what you believe. Say the truth and do not censor yourself. People will respect you way more if you are honest instead of just trying to not offend anyone. People who are controversial and real are more interesting and respected than people who just try to be people pleasers or peacekeepers. Don't be a people pleaser. And sometimes the truth hurts. This is what we're called to do as Christians. It's to say the truth. The truth is unpopular. So be assertive. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for others. You can't expect other people to advocate for you. And part of this is not simping, is don't be desperate. Don't be desperate if you're trying to date a girl and getting her a bunch of presents on the first date. You need to convey that you are high value by not simping, by not being desperate, by showing that you have multiple options. Same with a business deal. If you're doing a business deal and the company knows you're going to go with them, you're not as attractive. They have more buying power. And so by not being a simp, by being assertive and having self-confidence, you will be more attractive. It's so essential to not simp, especially in romantic relationships. Stop watching the news. It's so important to avoid doom scrolling. I really like this quote from Denzel Washington. If you don't read the news, you're uninformed. If you read it, you're misinformed. Honestly, it's just going to make you sad. Like seeing what's happening across the world, across the country, and it's making you depressed, or like some global thing that you have no control over. Just have a boundary with it. You don't need to know this. In a lot of ways, ignorance is bliss on this. Like, you don't need to be constantly be informed. It's not like the government's going to call you up and say, oh, what do you think on this issue? So really, just stop watching the news. Stop using social media. So many people will fall into the trap of doom scrolling. You need to control what you are consuming. So many times go on 4chan, Reddit, Twitter, and consume blackpilling content that makes them depressed and agitated. It's annoying. It fills them with anger and hate, and they feel like they have no control. But you need to focus on real life, not on social media. Like, focus on the people around you, your friends, your work, your school. Start a book club, start a club at school, volunteer, help your local church. Be busy with in real life things. I used to wake up and I would just go on social media, feel like the world is doomed, the world is ending, I'm depressed, black-pilled, hopeless doomer. But in the real world, it really isn't that bad. It's always worse in your imagination. It's so bad to go on these things when you're bored because your brain just wants dopamine. It wants that instant hit dopamine. So you go on Instagram or TikTok, and then it can show sexual content, which can lead you into lust, into sin. So don't be bored. Busy with in real life things and not just spending time endlessly scrolling on these apps. It's a waste of time. You're wasting your life. I like this quote from St. Paisios. What I see around me would drive me insane if I did not know that no matter what happens, God will have the last word. God is in control. Another huge time waster is video games. I think they can be okay in moderation, but if you're young, you should be focusing on so many other things, on working out, on focusing on college, or focusing on a trade school, focus on spending time in real life with friends. I have 2,000 hours in a video game called Rust. I have 1,000 hours in CSGO, 1,000 hours in Overwatch, thousands of hours in Madden. I have nothing to show for that. If I was learning a skill, I would literally be an expert. So instead of just playing video games, it's really important to spend that time learning a skill that is actually going to help you in life. And video game addiction is so bad. Again, it brings instant gratification. It's just a hedonic treadmill. You do the same thing over and over again. You're not actually achieving anything. Like, real life is the best video game. Next thing, stop watching TV. I mean, TV shows literally suck right now. They're all full of sexual content, very, very violent content where it's just over the top. And you're going to be so much happier spending time in real life, reading books, focusing on having friends over. TV show every once in a while is fine. I'm just talking about overall is you should just not be like a TV person who just needs to always watch TV. I think that's really important. And once you stop watching TV, you're not on social media, you're not on news, you have way more free time and you can do things that actually are meaningful. Stop watching anime. My friends were into anime. And I think a lot of it is just very, very degenerate, and it's a form of escapism. All of these things are meant to sedate young men and escape. Live real life. Watching sports. I used to be obsessed with football. I used to play Madden all the time, and then I'd play football in high school, and then I'd watch college football, NFL football all day on Sunday. Just the same thing over and over again. And grown men spend so much time. It's literally just bread and circuses. I mean, who cares who won the sports ball game? Trust me, I used to be so obsessed with it and know every player. It's just a distraction. Group sports can be fun in real life. Go play ultimate frisbee or volleyball or something. But just constantly watching sports is a waste of time. Stay 100% sober. This was so essential. And this is a part of your friends, is you don't want to be around people who are drinking and smoking because they're really limiting themselves. You want a clear head. Drugs are only a liability on your health, your wallet, your soul. First, alcohol, weed, cigarettes, caffeine, they all cost you money. You need them. You don't need them to survive. Weed is a gateway drug. That's the reality. Weed is the most dangerous, I think, because it can just make you feel super happy playing a video game and eating pizza. Versus people use it as a coping mechanism because when they're sober, their life sucks. But if your life sucks, then you have to do things to improve your situation. And the growth comes from suffering. You have to embrace it. Cigarettes, vape, they're terrible for your lungs. I mean, I can explain all the scientific evidence, but get addicted and just stop. We all have the willpower to stop these things that are killing us. You can stop, it's just how bad you want to stop. I was addicted to nicotine. Before I got rid of it, I would get headaches and feel anxious. It's terrible for your brain. Hard to stop, and why a lot of people are unable to stop is because the people around them are smoking cigarettes, they're doing vape, they're doing drugs, and so it's really hard to stop something if all your friends are doing it. It's going to make you relapse more. And so that's why, the number one thing is you want to be surrounded by people who aren't doing this. It's going to help you in the long term. Many young people say life sucks, get drunk. This is a very sad way of viewing the world. And I remember so many of my people I knew, saying, "Oh, can we see a movie? But can I be high when we see it? Can we hang out? But can I be high?" It's like everything ends up surrounding their addiction. Is they need to constantly have it. Like they can't have fun without it, and that's no way to live. And it's really corny, but I say be high on life, be high on Jesus. And I hate dealing with drunk people. It's so obnoxious. People die from alcohol and it's just terrible. Wine every once in a while, I think it's fine in moderation, but it's just don't be around people who are chronically like this, especially if you're young, because you can quickly get dragged into it. It's just annoying to deal with people who are high and drunk. Don't do drugs. The next thing is NoFap. It is so important that you do not masturbate. It is a sin. Go to a priest, go to confession if you're struggling with this, and don't watch porn. Do anything to make sure you are not addicted. Pornography is a demonic industry. It is meant to literally trap your soul. If you're seeing that, they're literally trying to trap your soul. So just think about that. If you feel like you're about to lust, go jump in a cold shower. If you're doing it in bed on your phone, don't put yourself in that situation. Keep yourself busy. A lot of people fall into this addiction because they are bored. So don't be bored. And avoid the places like TikTok and Instagram where they're doing the things that are tempting you. Keep yourself busy. If you work out and are tired at nighttime, you're not going to do this. So it's really how bad do you want to stop? But I say this is so important to feeling confident about yourself. Next is work out and go for walks. You could do 100 push-ups every day. No excuse. You have the time. Go for daily walks. Pray on the walk. Listen to Orthodox talks. Jay Dyer. Go out in nature. If you can go to the gym, go with a friend. Build yourself and your friends up. Your mind, body, and soul. Working out, you'll be able to go to sleep easier at night. You're not going to be laying in bed scrolling. That's really bad for your eyes. Just go to bed because you're going to be really tired from working out. Lots of sins happen when we have too much time. Working out reduces stress. It's very clear that exercise is good. It occupies our time. Just keep yourself in good condition. Like work out, just go for walks, just do something every day. And it's really important for your overall hygiene. This is kind of a side topic, but take a shower every once in a while. Make sure you're clean. Wear deodorant. Brush your teeth. Floss. Good habit. Listerine. Have good breath. If you want, wear a little bit of cologne. Smell nice, take a shower, take care of yourself, smell good, and have a fresh breath. I mean, so many guys fail on this basic level of just hygiene and taking care of yourself. Take care of yourself because no one else is going to do it. Eating healthy and doing intermittent fasting is life-changing. Do not be gluttonous. Implement some form of intermittent fasting, which means just, no breakfast. Lots of benefits to intermittent fasting, and there's lots of studies talking about the benefits. It energizes you, makes you feel more focused. You start being occupied with doing things instead of just thinking about food, especially when you're just bored and you start eating. Do not bored eat. It is so bad for mind, body, and soul. Keep yourself busy. The food you do eat, don't eat super chemically foods, greasy foods, bad calorie foods. Eat good, high quality food, meat, veggies, fuel your body. Avoid dessert or minimal. To lose weight, fat is terrible. It's a visible manifestation of your sin, and you have the power to stop. How bad do you want it? Calorie deficits can help to eat less if you're trying to lose weight. But again, it's a permanent lifestyle change. Obesity is a huge problem in America. It lowers your lifespan. It makes your life worse. It ruins your sleep, ruins your happiness. But it's very easy. You just eat less, do a calorie deficit, and when you do, you eat high quality food and work out. And the Orthodox fast is also important to control your willpower. You need to be able to have a zipper on your mouth, because if you can't control yourself, that can send you to hell. You don't want to be weak and not in control. You want to get all your strength from God. Fasting, there's lots of different YouTube videos on this, but just do some form of intermittent fasting and have a zipper on your mouth to get to your ideal weight and also to be more focused. Fake it till you make it. You aren't confident? Tell yourself you are. Affirm it in your head in every situation. Think, what would a confident person do? And do that. When we normally have the opposite effect, where we overthink, oh, I'm not confident, I'm not ready. Guess what? No one is. It's like, we have this imposter syndrome, but everyone is faking it till you make it. So you just got to do it too. Stop thinking and just do things. Literally, we box ourselves in and let our inner thoughts dictate how we have to act. And we should think, what should Jesus do? And just do it. What do confident people do? Just do it. What would a confident person do in a situation? Just do it. Like, you can change this tomorrow. If you approach everything you do and think, what would a confident person do? And you do that, eventually you will be that. It would just be your muscle memory. And the best time to start this is right now. Everything in this video, the best time to start is now, not later. Not to put things off, but to start good habits now. Because there's no magic pill. There's no easy life hack. Whatever you are scared of, or whoever you want to be, you just have to do it right now. You just have to think, what would that person be? The person I want to be. And do it. And keep doing it. Identify yourself as confident. Keep affirming that. And in every situation, have a high self-esteem. And know that you're going to succeed. And you will have success in every aspect of your life, in dating, in your job. You will have success in every aspect of your life, from dating to your job. You will feel better if you just make yourself a confident, positive person. Become and act like the person you want to be. The next thing is embracing minimalism. It's really good to live below your means and simplify your wardrobe. I have an entire channel on this. Declutter. For example, I go no underwear. Commando mode. That's one less thing to worry about. Dress nice and do it on a budget. Wear simple things, not a bunch of brand clothes. You can just wear all black. All black wears great. I just own black t-shirts and black pants. And that reduces decision fatigue. We make so many decisions every day. Just find your favorite outfit and wear it every day. That's a great place to start. I used to wear some goofy stuff and it's not timeless, but now my all black outfits, they're timeless. I have a few outfits, but I have copies of them. It just makes my life so much easier, not having to worry about what I'm going to wear every day. And no one really notices if you wear the same thing every day. It's just one less decision that you have to make every day. It's really good to declutter your wardrobe. And that's a good general mindset, the mindset of minimalism. It's very Christian, to live below your means. You don't need stuff. Experiences can make you happy. You just need God. That's what the saints depended on. Happiness is a choice. And when you realize that, it's going to be easier to be happy. If you can be happy being a minimalist, being frugal and poor, then you can be happy no matter what. Went a little extreme and got rid of too much stuff. It's all about having the right amount of things and be purposeful about your consumptions. Not just buying things endlessly, saving your money. Don't just buy things if you're bored. If you want something, put in your shopping cart, wait 7 days to see if you actually want it. And you can do this when you're decluttering your room or decluttering your clothes. You can put them in a basket, and then you can put that basket away and see, do I actually think about it, or do I not actually need it? And then you can sell it, give it to Goodwill, something like that. Declutter your life, declutter your phone, declutter your mind. Because if you have a messy room, you have a messy mind. If you have a messy surrounding, it's going to cause you more stress. All of these are manifestations of your mind. So clean your room, clean your phone, clean your wardrobe, clean your head so you can focus on what really matters and be more productive. My biggest realization after being a super minimalist is that I was too attached to my things. The problem is not having things, but how much we care about them and having a good relationship with those things and not being too materialistic. It is fine and good to have stuff because we're not all called to monasticism, but we can let our material belongings blind us. We need to be purposeful about how we spend our time, money, life. Be introspective and self-aware about your own behaviors, especially your spending habits, which is why financial minimalism is so important, because a majority of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. The goal is financial freedom, or having enough passive income that covers your monthly expenses, which can be done through real estate, crypto, dividend investing, etc. But we'll never accomplish this if we're spending all of our money, all of our paycheck, and have high monthly expenses. So the solution is to save as much money as possible, to live below your means. Hopes to become financially literate through YouTube channels like Graham Stephan, Luke Smith, David Ramsey. Financial stress lowers your IQ. Have high interest debt as soon as possible, make a budget, create an emergency fund with 3 to 6 months of emergency expenses, and live below your means. Have a simple life, wear all black clothing, have less decisions, find ways to simplify your life. And this is something you can do right now, is declutter your room, declutter your stuff, and live below your means, to not buy the nicest things. I think of the early Christians. They didn't have, Gucci bags. They didn't have like 20 pairs of shoes. They lived with very little and they were extremely happy, and we want to be like that. The next one is ignorance is bliss. A lot of things we just don't need to know. Like, it's just unnecessary, as I was talking about earlier. I like this quote. Thoughts are like airplanes flying in the air. If you ignore them, there is no problem. If you pay attention to them, you create an airport inside your head and permit them to land. So just be careful with thoughts, and don't be mindless, and don't just endlessly consume news and content that's going to make you stressed. Like, just be purposeful about what you're consuming. Just focus on giving, not taking. I realize that taking and buying stuff for myself is only going to make me so happy. And when you give, when you go out and volunteer your time at a food bank or at your local church, or you just give someone something you don't need, like you're getting rid of all your stuff, you're going to feel much happier. So really focus on giving. Just fall in love with the process. Is if you are making a goal, you can't just say, oh, I want 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. You need to write out the goal, and you need to write out the things that will get you there. For example, uploading every week, your content better, like things that are quantifiable. And if you fall in love with that process, it's not a matter if you will succeed, but when. Because if you're consistent and you accept failure and you fall in love with the process, then you love the journey. It's not about just reaching the destination. It's about the lifestyle. And that's what's important as a Christian, is falling in love with the Christian lifestyle and doing everything and being grateful for it. You need to practice being habitually grateful for everything that we have in the process. The next is, as my channel always talks about, joining the Orthodox Church. Is I think a lot of things that I've talked about have been very Christian, because salvation is the number one most important thing. The side benefits of going to church, when you stay for lunch and coffee hour, you can start to meet people, help at Vespers. You're going to meet like-minded people. I met my best friend and wife at church. Go on retreats. Divine liturgy heals our soul. Go to confession. It humbles us. And then when we receive communion, God in the Eucharist, that we really have the greatest thing that a human can have. That's true wealth. Put our struggles in perspective by reading the lives of the saints daily. They had terrible lives. The faith to them was worth dying for. When we pray and fast daily and live just like them, we grow closer to God, and we should mimic the saints. And we should read them daily to keep our life in perspective and see how privileged we are, really. And also, don't burn yourself out when you're new to the faith. Again, I've talked about permanent lifestyle changes. Everything I talked about, you should do for life, not just temporarily. Like, if you're going to become Orthodox, don't just do it for a few months or a few years. The goal is to build a sustainable faith, a prayer rule that you can do, like do other hobbies and be an Orthodox Christian for life. All need something to be confident about. And the things I've listed so far, everyone can work out. Everyone can have a positive mindset. Just how bad do you want it? Show must go on. Our life is like a play, and we may have bad parts in it, really bad parts. And just like actors mess up in a musical, but they don't just get sad and get down on themselves. The show must go on. They continue on. And it's not about what happened in the past. It's about what you're doing right now. That's what matters. Do not be self-loathing. View every failure as an opportunity, as something important for your salvation, a good learning opportunity. And be optimistic and force yourself to see the bright side of things. And you can be honest with the bad side of things, but just don't get in a loop of everything's bad and getting down on yourself, because your life must go on. Just continue to take it day by day. Like I talked about earlier, permanent lifestyle changes are very important. All these things we want to do for life. With food and the fast, for example, when you're new to Orthodoxy, some people may try and do the full fast when they're just starting, and they may burn themselves out. But I think it's better to start with like a small incremental change if you're looking into Orthodoxy. You don't want to be radical and change super far one way and then the other. Starting to fast, it's important to know the spirit of the law. It's supposed to help us grow closer to God. So the fast is supposed to help us build willpower and stop addictions. And grow closer to God. So what you can do is you can, stop eating sweets on certain days as part of the fast. You can stop watching TV. You can stop playing video games and focus more time in prayer. Make a small incremental change, and then eventually you can get to a place where you're doing the full Orthodox fast. That's really important, is to not burn yourself out. Small incremental permanent changes. The next is being able to walk away and pick your battles. This is similar to what I was saying earlier, building on being assertive and do not simp. Simping is a major sin, and people lose attraction when you are desperate. So don't be desperate. It is so important to be desperate. Simping is when you want to do everything to please someone, and you never are mean, never say no. Be mean, be playful. No one wants a simp. You need to have leverage, which means being able to leave a situation, being able to walk away. People want something more when they know they can lose it. So have confidence in yourself to be able to walk away from situations. People with low self-esteem do not respect themselves very often. So why would anyone else respect them? They wouldn't. So find something to be confident about. There's so much you can be confident about working out, studying, focusing on God. Put God first. Stand up for what you believe in. You can be the most qualified person, but if you have no confidence in yourself, you will fail. Versus the least qualified person, but they are super confident, will succeed. When you get a job and talk to people, you realize everyone is making it up as they go. So just be confident.
Have confidence in your ability and accept your mistakes as learning experiences. If you're going to do something, do it with 100%, 1,000% effort. Do not half-ass anything. If you're going to ask out a girl, either don't do it or do it with 100% effort. There's no in between. It's not like the movies where you go up to them and you say, you're the most beautiful girl and I got you all this stuff. No, you want to limit compliments. You want to be playful. Again, you want to be able to walk away. You're going to waste a lot of time arguing and spending your time with certain people, so please pick your battles wisely. Talk with people who are open to changing their mind. You can waste so much effort and time and just annoy yourself by thinking logic will convince everyone. It's really important to know that for yourself, to know this other person and if they're actually open-minded. This is a really good tip, the 5-minute rule. If something takes 5 minutes to do, like taking out the trash, only takes 1 minute, just go do it right now. And everything like that. That's how you get a lot of stuff done. And once it's kind of like the snowball effect. You start doing it more and more, and then you feel more confident about the other things. And then by the end of the day, you've accomplished so much because you were just doing all the little tasks, getting the snowball effect. The next thing is go to college or build a skill. I have a video on college. I recommend community college and then transferring to a state school, trying to live at home, trying to do it as cheap as possible, and get a degree in something that's useful, something that will help you get a better job, or build a skill by going to a trade. But just do something, build a skill, learn video editing. Just don't waste your time. Do not waste your free time. I cannot stress that enough. Some final things I want to say is mindful consumption, really important that the music, movies, TV shows, everything that you're listening is going to affect you. If you're listening to a bunch of sad music, you're probably going to feel sad. If you're watching sad movies, you're probably going to feel sad. So surround yourself with good literature, with good music, and orthodoxy, we have that. Laugh a lot. If you are serious, it's going to be hard to get through life. So have a balance. Please laugh, have a sense of humor. Yes, everything we do matters. If you constantly are focusing on every single little mistake that you make, you're going to go mad. So just laugh, have faith in God, make jokes. Everyone likes to be around people who are funny and laugh. And so just find the balance between being serious and also being lighthearted because, life is stressful. There is a lot of suffering, and it's all about finding that balance. But just remember, laugh daily, make other people laugh, nice to be around. I think about this on my minimalism channel a lot, but dopamine detoxes are really good and get rid of time wasters, get off the hedonic treadmill. Like if you give up watching TV, give up YouTube for a week, give up Instagram or TikTok, and just focus on being more mindful, going on walks, things like that. It's good to it's like a mini retreat that you can do in your own house. And there's lots of YouTube videos on dopamine detoxes. The other thing is go to bed early. Sleep affects your health and happiness the most, so go to bed on time, get enough sleep. It's an act of faith. It's easy to stay up on your phone, but whatever you're doing on your phone is still going to be there when you wake up in the morning, and you're going to feel so much healthier and better when you get enough sleep, and your body will recover from illness easier. For example, I used to stay up playing video games with my friends late at night. Worst decision ever. I would wake up super late in the day. I would feel really bad, but then I started waking up early, living for the day, living for tomorrow, not focusing on instant gratification. And you shouldn't be on your phone like an hour or two before going to bed because it's going to ruin your sleep because of the blue light. So be really careful. So just have a sleep schedule, stick with it. You don't need to wake up every day at like 4 a.m. like a Navy SEAL. That may work for some people, but it's just, you need to have routine. Routine is so important, routine and discipline. The sleep schedule and go to bed at the same time every day and make sure you get enough sleep. I mean, I recommend probably everyone's different, but like 8 to 9 to 10 hours if you can get it. And it's also really important that you need a purpose, a meaning to wake up every day that motivates you. Because when you're motivated, you wake up. I wake up early when I'm excited. So find something that will motivate you. A podcast you love. I was depressed and I felt like I had no purpose. I could sleep for 10 to 12 hours and not actually feel like I was rested because I didn't have motivation. I just wanted to sleep. So go to bed early and find something that makes you excited to wake up in the morning. Other things I talked about earlier, drink water, stay very hydrated. Drinking water can help so much. It can help with acne. Drink filtered water. I don't recommend tap water. Acne, do not pop your pimples. That's just going to cause scars. And acne, again, is caused primarily by lifestyle choices like your diet and sleep. So fix all the lifestyle things before you put a chemical on your face. I personally experienced some good things with Curology, but I think it is more about lifestyle changes, about not eating super sugary foods, about drinking enough water, getting to sleep on time. All of this will help your acne. I mean, you look at pictures from people of 60 years ago and there was like no acne, but now they put all this crazy stuff in our food. You look at the ingredients of food and there's like 1,000 ingredients. That's over exaggeration, like 50 ingredients and like everything. So just eat good food. It's really important to wait till marriage. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is to have sex before marriage. Nothing good comes from this because it creates attachment and it can easily get broken since you're not actually married. You can get STDs. You can have out of wedlock births. A woman may abort the child, sexual misconduct charge, and it's a sin. So just wait till marriage. You're gonna thank yourself, and you're gonna have much more meaningful relationships. And love, not hate. It is really easy to hate the world and to focus on all the bad things. Don't be resentful. God forgives. How God forgives us, so we can forgive other people. They're the happiest people. They're not resentful. They don't hold things in. They don't build things up and bring stuff up from the past. Be like the happiest people, the people who actually move on and care more about love.
And don't cuss. It makes you look bad. It makes you seem more uneducated.
There's no point in getting mad. Just be positive, smile, be the best person you can. Do not hold grudges. Happy people are not resentful. They move on and they have boundaries. They know their value. Another one is stop complaining. Practice being habitually grateful. Thank God every day is a gift. Thank you, I have eyesight. Thank you that I'm alive, that I have a family. Whatever it is, put everything in perspective as a gift. Sick humbles us and makes us realize everything we took for granted. When we're sick, we just want to feel normal. And then when we're normal, we just want more and more. So just keep everything in perspective and thank God. For example, atheists are habitually ungrateful. They say, God is all powerful. Why don't I have $1 million? They're starting wrong. God owes us nothing. He gave us life, gave us Christ. Thank God for everything good and bad. Stop complaining and be grateful. Martyrs didn't say, God, why would you do this to me? They thank God for the honor of being able to have a meaningful life. Tell God that you love him. Tell your parents that you love them. Appreciate the little things. God is everywhere, even in the mundane. God gave us everything. The reality is that God fulfills our desire. We want so many things. We say, why isn't God giving us? God gives us so many great things, but it's when you see the bigger picture, you have to be patient. And don't constantly compare to yourself to others, like looking at Instagram and saying, oh, look at what they have and I don't have. Be grateful for everything you have. This is a key mindset that you are habitually grateful every day, and do not be a complainer. No one wants to be around a complainer. That person who's a complainer doesn't want to be a complainer. You end up being a miserable person. Spread the misery. Don't have people around you who just complain. Be happy. People want to be around positive people. Be that person. That's what we're called to be as Christians. The saints weren't complainers. Another good quote from St. Paisius. So in every test, let us say, thank God, because this was needed for my salvation. Almost done. Last thing, victim mentality. Victim mentality always finds a reason to complain. Be humble. Don't brag. Be humble. You are entitled to nothing. We don't deserve our greatest gift, our life. We belong to God. Thank God. God has the humility to become man and die for my sake. Then I should have humility before God and my neighbor. I should not feel entitled to anything. And having an external versus internal locus of control. Focus on what you can control. Accept what you can't control and trust in God. Do not victimize yourself. Do not complain. As I said earlier, it's important to set goals and actually work towards them. Because if you're just kind of aimless and you don't have any goals, how are you going to accomplish anything? But if you set goals and you show the parts of the goals, the KPIs that you need to achieve those, then you can actually work to achieve those. Like if you want to lose weight, okay, how are you going to do that? You could focus on a calorie deficit every day, and you could focus on working out 3 times a week, and then test yourself every week to see if you did that. Another side note is I don't recommend that anyone get tattoos, especially when you're young, because you're probably going to regret it, and they are really expensive.
A simple life is a good life. I don't mean a boring life, a life without excitement. I mean the opposite. I mean a life that is lived to the fullest, because none of it was wasted. A life with no regret, no resentment, and no clutter. How can we live this life? I try by not watching the news. Why waste your time and energy thinking and worrying about something you have no control over? I don't watch TV. I don't have Instagram or TikTok. I don't have social media. I would honestly get a flip phone besides navigation, because our phone is the biggest distraction from actually living life. I used to look at my screen time and see how much time I was wasting on my phone, and I realized nothing on my phone was actually making me a more satisfied person. And it's not just my phone, all the stuff I owned wasn't what was actually making me happy. And when I simplified my phone, my wardrobe, my room, and my life, I could focus on what actually matters. That's why I have a simple wardrobe, mostly black. I don't waste my time deciding what I'm going to wear every day. I just found my favorite outfit and I wear pretty much the same thing every day. I don't waste time shopping as an activity, thinking about what I could get. I get new clothes if I know exactly what I want, and then I do it the cheapest way possible. I go to a thrift store or I just go to Walmart. Also, I don't own any underwear. It has so many health benefits. It's less clothes to wash. I don't spend money on it. It's less clutter. It's one less thing to think about. I give myself a haircut, so I don't have to drive to the barber and spend all that time getting my hair cut and paying them. I just cut it myself. It takes a quarter of the time and it's free. In my room, I made it exactly how I want. I don't need anything else. I was so purposeful about my room because I had nothing for a year. I took my time and I saw exactly how I wanted my room to be, and I made it exactly how I wanted. Everything about it is purposeful, and it is still somewhat minimalist, and everything in it adds value to my life. I have my icons for God, I have my books to increase my knowledge and for research, and my desk to create. There is no clutter. Less clutter, less stress, a simpler life, optimizing your life, optimizing your brain, decluttering your mind so you can focus on what actually matters. Don't overcomplicate your life with stupid stuff. If you're going to stress about something, make it worth it, because most stuff isn't worth your energy. Time is your most valuable resource, so don't spend your time and energy on things that don't matter. Don't spend your money on stuff you don't need, because that is time you are losing. The more you buy, the more it costs, so the longer you have to work, so the less time you have. This is why living the simplest life and needing the absolute least is the true path to wealth, freedom, and happiness. Ignorance really is bliss. Focusing on improving yourself and focusing on the people around you in real life, your friends, your family, your church, going outside, being with God, going on a walk, being purposeful about everything you do, how you spend your time, what you buy, what you consume. I don't think about eating the rest of the day. It's not worth my mental energy. I eat less, I'm at a healthier weight, I'm focused all day. It costs less money, I spend less time eating, and I have more time. It's just one other thing that makes my life simple. We only have a limited amount of time on this earth, so make it count. Make the day count. Stressing about something that doesn't matter isn't worth it. Live a life worth living. That is a simple life. A life where you know your purpose.
I hope you found this video really helpful. I really enjoyed making it, and I hope this helps improve your life. Comment anything that I didn't include. There's probably way more things I could. These were just the things that I could think of, and I really wanted to just get this video out because I think, if you think about the things in this video and you try and apply them in your life, I can almost guarantee that you're going to have a better life. Thank you so much. Trust in Christ. God bless.